Are you ready to turn heads? Luxury isn't just worn, it's experienced. Introducing a Layla Cara style and new up-and-coming designer collection where exclusive shoes and bags for men and women meets your feet. How about you take a handbag and wear it in style, where each piece is personally designed by Layla Carroll herself and handcrafted from the finest material in Italy. Leather, smooth like butter, bold, timeless, distinctly you. Step into true elegance and make your mark with a Layla Cara style where confidence meets craftsmanship. Visit a Layla Cara style and experience the luxury of art that you wear. So it's been a while since I've done my podcast. I'm going to go ahead and do my podcast and put it on ya. Okay, I know it's been a while since I've done podcasts. So I want to let you guys know that I'll be doing podcasts here and there. I won't do it constantly like I was doing it. So it's going to be like once a month or something like that in that nature. Instead of me putting out podcasts every week, I'm just going to do it here and there. It's going to be a little sprinkle here, another sprinkle there. I've been trying to get my business up and running, so I have been putting a lot of time into that. So that's pretty much the reason why I haven't been doing podcasts as much. So on that note, I do apologize to my listeners who haven't been able to just hear some new content from me, some new messages, but I got a new message for you today. So on this podcast, we're going to talk about the marriage life. So let's talk about the marriage life. For those of you out there that want to get married, let me tell you this. If you have not been married before and you are under the age of 30, take your time. Don't rush into it. Take your time. Now, if you have been listening to my other podcasts about all the other things I've said about marriage, so I'm going to tell you like this. Everybody's situation is different. There's not one person that you can compare your situation to. Everyone have a unique story in their life as well as in their marriage, for those who are married and for those who have been married or now divorced, and for those who are separated, legally separated. So, marriage. How great is it? It depends on who you're married to. That is the real deal. If you're married to somebody who don't really see marriage in the same light that you do, you're going to have some problems. And you're going to have some big problems, not just some problems, but some huge problems. Because you have to know that y'all too, when I say y'all, because I'm from Texas and we do talk like that. I can say you all, but I'm not going to talk like that. I'm going to talk exactly the way I talk. Y'all, okay? So you have to know that y'all are on the same page, that y'all see things in the same manner, because if you do not see things in the way that your partner see things, you're not going to have a smooth marriage. It's going to be rough. It's going to be very rough for you. So if you are under 30, my advice, this is my opinion, I would say wait until you turn 30, then start looking towards the married life. Because when you are in your 20s, you don't really know what you want. I don't care how badly you think you know you want something, you really don't know what you really want to do with your life until you have experienced some things. You must go through some things in order to know what you really like and what you don't like. It's hard to figure that out when you're in your 20s because you just became an adult. Yeah, you can try to compare your life to your high school years, nah, that's not gonna work. High school is exactly what it is. High school. You can't compare. You have to come out of high school. You have to transition out of the thought process of a high schooler and put your mind in a grown woman status or a grown man status. You have to have a mindset of a grown person, okay? So, notice I didn't talk about college because everybody don't go to college. So, we can't even add college to that. We're just going to talk about high school because pretty much everyone go to high school. Even if you drop out, you still went to high school at some point before you dropped out. So, if you are 30 and above and you want to get married, my advice, which is also my opinion, to you is to make sure you have gotten all your single lifestyle out of the way. If you are a person that like to go to the club, which I used to love going out to the club. When I was 24 years old, I got married to my first husband, and I was a club person. I loved going out. And the funny thing about it is that I met my first husband at the club. So I thought that it was going to be a cool thing that we will be able to go to the club together and just go in and bop together. It didn't work out like that. He had a whole different mindset of how marriage was supposed to be. In his mind, he felt that his wife should stay at home and always be available for him, not to go clubbing, not even to go to work. Yes, I said that. I was working when we met, and he had this big bright idea, and he fed it to me, and I thought it tastes good, so I ate it, He said, hey, how about you just go back to school? I take care of everything. You don't have to work. And I was like, that's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, I can go back to school. I don't have to work. Okay, I like that. So I took it. And as time went on, I realized it was a bad idea because every time that I wanted to go somewhere, he wanted to know, where you going? Where you at? How long you going to be there? All that, to me, I'm 24. I'm thinking, why is he hounding me like this? Why can't I go wherever I want to go without having to always let you know my every move? And then it got to the point where when I wanted to go out, oh, no. That was a fight. Oh, when I say it was a fight because he did not want me going out. Now, when I look back at that, I question myself and I ask myself questions and I say, Layla, and Layla say, was that really a good idea to go out knowing that you was married? And then I say, yeah, because I was young and I wanted to party. And exactly where he met me at was at the club. So why should I have changed the way I was just because we got married? That was my mentality. Honestly, right now to this very day, that's still my mentality. Only a certain snippet of that is, not the entire thing. What my mentality is from that point to now is that he did meet me in the club. And he should have known that much about me that I was a club goer. I enjoyed going out. And when we was in our dating phase, I went out. So that didn't change. So that is where he dropped the ball at. He should have known, hey, this girl like to go out. If I want my wife to stay at home, then I need to get with someone who don't go to the club. No, he was like, I like her. I'm going to change her. She's not going to be a person that goes out after we get married. I'm going to make sure that that's where he messed up at. He got into this marriage thinking that he can change me. And that's where the fight begun. We started fighting because I felt that he was trying to control me and control my lifestyle and my moves and things that I enjoyed doing. Well, the part that is not with that same mentality is that looking back at it, I could have handled it a whole lot different than the way I handled it then. See, when you're young like that, you don't have the mindset of being in control of your emotions. You just in them. That's all you know. You feel a certain way, you act a certain way, you do certain things while you in the moment. And that's exactly how I was. So when I look back at it, I was 24 then. I'm 45 now. That's a big gap. That's pretty much 21 years. That is 21 years. When I look back at that time frame and I say, you know what? I know I had no business getting married that damn young. That was my fault. I should have never got married that young because I wasn't ready to be a wife. I wanted to be a wife. I did. I wanted to get married because I thought that was the thing to do, due to the fact that I was a girl. And when you're young, you started thinking all these little beautiful things about your wedding when you get older. And finally, I was at that point. I got proposed to. I got the ring. Now I can have the magical wedding, which didn't happen, by the way. The wedding was not magical. I didn't even really have too much say-so on my wedding. That should have been a red flag right there. I don't even know how I didn't pick up on that. Because when I got married, when we was planning our wedding, his grandparents pretty much did the whole wedding for us. Now, at that time, I was thinking, well, if they want to pay for it, let them pay for it. But they had that mentality, our wedding, your marriage. So since we're paying for this, we're going to do it the way we want to do it. You just need to be married and do that the way y'all going to do it. And I say, so I don't have no say-so in what's my wedding going to be like, how it's going to be. Well, you can pick out your dress. Oh, wow. Okay, that's about it. All right, I get to pick out my dress. I did my own hair because I did hair, so I didn't trust people doing my hair due to the fact that when I was in high school, prom, I went to a salon and got my hair done. And when I came home, my mom saw my hairstyle. She was like, why in the world did I pay for that when you could have done that yourself? And I was like, well, she sure lives right. I could have done this style myself, but you paid for it and I got the chance to be pampered. So why not? You know? But I understood where she was coming from. So that's why I did my own hair for my wedding. But at the same time, if you are planning to get married, you want to get married, before you get married, my other advice to you, go to marriage counseling, premarital counseling. Know the person you're marrying. Get inside their head. And what I mean by get inside their head, get inside their mindset of what marriage like is supposed to be in their eyes. And see if you fit that. Because you don't want to get in a marriage and then you start finding out all those things about your partner while you're married. Now you become unhappy and then you start doing things to try to make up for the unhappiness that you have in your life, which will cause a problem in your marriage, all because you wasn't ready. You might have thought you was ready, but you really wasn't ready because you didn't do things in a way to make sure the person you was getting married to is the one for you. Not saying that your mate not the one for you, but what I am saying is that at the time that you're getting married, some people need to grow. Some people need growth. They need a little time to grow, is what I'm saying. And maybe you need some time to grow. So that's, to me, that was my problem. I needed time to grow. I wasn't ready to just be a homebody. I wasn't ready to always check in and let my at the time, husband know my every move. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't even feel like it was really something I was supposed to do. I didn't. I didn't think I was supposed to have let my, at the time, husband know every move I made. If I was at the grocery store, why do I got to tell you I'm at the grocery store? I'm at the grocery store and I'm coming home. That's how I felt. So because I didn't call you to say, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. So when I come home from the grocery store, we got to fight about it. Why do I got to fight you behind me going to the grocery store? That makes no sense to me. Even to this day, it still doesn't make sense because it's impossible to know everything that your mate does. It's just impossible. And it's unhealthy. You should not want to know every single thing they do. It's very unhealthy. You yourself should be busy enough that you have enough going on with yourself that you shouldn't have that much energy to put into your spouse to know their every waking move. Something's wrong with that. Not only something wrong with that, something's wrong with you. You have to find out what is making you feel that way, that you should have to know every move your spouse make. That's either a little insecurity there or no trust at all. Now, we can talk about that. Let's elaborate on that a little bit. So if you have had some issues in your past dealing with trust, you don't know how to just let go and allow your spouse to be who they are, you don't need to be getting married, for real. Because whatever traumatic moment that you had in your life, you're going to put that off on them. They are going to feel the brunt of that. And it's not fair to them. It's just not fair. They shouldn't have to pacify you to make you feel better about your past. You need to get some real help and some healing so that way you can be all you can be to your spouse. And your spouse don't have to check in on you every 5 seconds to let you know they every waking move. There's something wrong with that. So that's another reason why you shouldn't rush into marriage. You should make sure that you yourself have done what you need to do to get the proper healing that you need to get, have done the work for yourself to heal. Then you should be ready to start looking for your mate, your forever partner, your forever mate, or your person, like they say, my person, that's my person. So for those who are over 30 and you haven't been married and you want to get married and you feel that marriage is in your future,
we'll be back after a quick break.
If you haven't already, check out my luxury shoe and bag collection, a Layla Carroll style. Each piece is personally designed by me and handcrafted from genuine Italian leather. Whether you're dressing up or keeping it casual, these pieces were made to help you walk with confidence. Because real style starts from how you feel. Go to alaylacarrollstyle.com and experience these bold, timeless, and completely all you. Check it out. You might find something you like. You know for sure that is something that you have to have in your life. First off, you need to make sure that you're ready. You have to make sure that you're ready. Living a single life, looking to get married is not it. You should be living as a married woman or married man before you actually find your mate. Because if you're living that way, you don't have to get that way. You will already be that way, and your spouse will already know what they're getting before they say I do to you. That will help them to make a quicker decision about if they want to stay with you or not and marry you or not. You cannot be the kind of person that be like, I'm going to do me. I'm out here having a hot girl summer or hot boy rah type situation. And then you meet somebody and you like, man, I really like her or I really like him. And I think I found the one. But then you still doing your thing though. You haven't stopped. So finally you decide that I'm going to let go all the single life living. And I'm going to go ahead and put myself in a situation where I'm only going to be with them. Or I'm only going to do the things that I need to do with them and be that person that they need me to be for them if we was actually married. Okay, that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because now you're transitioning with them. You're going through a transition period with that person, and that person is not sure who they're getting. Are they getting the single person that you used to be? Or they getting the now I'm the settle down type of person that you're trying to be. And whenever you're going through a transition, you're going to go through some growing pains. It's not going to feel good. It's going to hurt because you're going to miss some things that you used to do. You're going to start missing out and you're going to feel like, man, am I really making the right decision? You're going to be scratching your head like, I don't know about this. I like him. I like her. I love him. I love her. But I kind of miss my old life. I kind of miss what I used to do. That is the wrong way to do things. You don't want to go into a relationship during a transition period of your life. When you are transitioning, you're phasing out of an old way of living and phasing into a new way of living. You should do that as a single person. That's not something you should do in an actual relationship, trying to become. And that's what I said, trying to become. Because you're going to go through so much growing pains. And the person that you with just might not be with it. Because they met you one way. And now you're changing on them to become another way. And they're unsure who they're dealing with. And there's nothing wrong with transitioning because actually you should transition, especially if you're planning on getting married. But it's better to transition in your single phase, in your single life while you're single, not dating in a relationship with somebody, trying to become a wife or trying to become a husband. Be that wife when you meet them. That way they know exactly who they're getting and what they're getting. And they can make a quick, sound decision on what they want in their life. It's kind of hard. So let me give you another example. So when I met my first husband, I told you I met him at the club, right? So when I met him, I thought in my mind, I had all these fantasies like, yeah, we're going to be able to go out together. We're going to have a good time together. We was the same age. We both was 24. Well, actually, we was 23 when we met. So I was like, yeah, we can really just have a good time. We can party because I was into the party life. So that was me. I can party. Heck yeah. That's how I was like, yeah, I'm with my girls. We can go out. I'm with my boys because it was both guys and girls. We all went out together. So I was like, he can join us and going out together. Oh, he was like, heck to the no. I ain't having this. This not it. And I was thinking like, okay, so you're telling me that you don't want to go out? And he was like, no, let's stay home. And do what? We can watch movies. Okay, boring. I can watch movies anytime. Do I have to watch it on a Friday night, a Saturday night? Come on, man, let's go out. He was like, no, we don't have to go nowhere. We can stay here. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to just be in the house with you all the time. And what I was really thinking was, I gotta grow old like this. That's how I was thinking. I gotta grow old like this. I'm 24 years old. So I have to go 25, 26, 27, 38, 39, 40, 50. Oh, hell no. I was like, this ain't it. This ain't what I want. So then I started feeling like I signed my life away. That was my thoughts. Now, you probably be saying, dang, you really want to go out that bad? It wasn't really about going out. It was about having fun. That's what it was to me. I wanted to have fun. And going out during that time back then was fun. We had a ball. Let me tell you, it was 6 females, 7 guys. We would go out and we would step in the club like, we here. And we had so much fun. We looked out for one another, so nobody was in no craziness. They had our back, we had their back. And I say we, I'm talking about the girls had their back and the guys had the girls' back. We watched each other's back. We just had a ball. We danced with each other. And of course, if one of the guys met somebody at the club, female, they do their thing, whatever, you do your thing. And some of the girls, they met some guys at the club that wasn't in the group. Okay, you do your thing, they do your thing, you do your thing. But we're going to make sure y'all get home safe. That was the thing. So we had such a great time. And I just felt that maybe I was going to lose all that. That's how I felt. Like, dang, I got married. Now that whole thing came to crash and halt. And that was just, and this is it. So my first husband, at the time, I thought he had an old soul. That's how I started looking at him, like an old man. Like, dang, you don't want to do nothing. You're just an old dude, old fashioned. His whole belief system was old fashioned. Now, you're probably saying, didn't you know that before you married him? No. I'll tell you why. He didn't act like that when we was dating. Not at all. He did not. I used to go out with his sister. Now, he encouraged me to go out with his sister because his sister would be going out. He'd be like, hey, why don't y'all go out together? Why don't you go with them? And I was like, really? You cool? Okay. And I'm like, hey, you want me to come out? And she'd be like, yeah, you can come with us. And I go out with them sometimes, So how would I have known that he was going to switch up on me? He did a switch on me, man. One of those bait in and switch on me. He baited me and he switched. And I was like, dang. Wow. Now, what's ironic about this situation? After we divorced, he went back out clubbing. Now, what did that say to you? That this is what he do? Or this is who he is? Or what is it? Because I remember telling him, you go out more now that we're divorced than you did when we was married. Why you didn't do all this while we was married? Because we would have had such a great time together. We would have did less arguing and fighting and more loving and having fun. But because you chose to try to control me, we didn't make it. Instead of just letting me be me. And my biggest fight was that I did not want anybody, absolutely anybody, and I'm still like that to this day, controlling me, telling me how I'm supposed to be. God created me, not you. So you can't tell me how I'm supposed to be. I'm going to be me. Now, my favorite song by Sammy Davis Jr. is Gotta Be Me. Yes, that's the way I am. That's my theme song when someone trying to change me. I am who I am, and you're not going to change me. That is the way it is. When I'm ready to change and I see that there's areas in my life that need to be worked on, then I'm going to work on that. But I'm going to do it in the time frame and the timing that I am actually ready to do it. Not because I'm doing it for you. Because I am a firm believer that if you change for people, you're not who you are. You're not yourself. You're not who you're supposed to be. You are a copycat of somebody you're not. You're fake. Because the minute that you and that person break up, or you and that person are no longer friends, or that person is no longer in your life, you're going to go back to your old habits of being the way you were. And not only that you're going to go back to your old habits, being the way you were, you're going to be worse off than you were when you first started changing. Because you're going to feel that you have lost something of yourself, and you're going to go wilding out, doing some extra activity that you didn't used to do just to prove a point to yourself. Don't do that. Don't become that person. So change when you're ready to change. Accept yourself who you are. And when you're ready to change, then you start changing. But do that in your single phase. So that way, when you are ready for marriage, you have already done the full metamorphosis, the full transition. Okay. Now let's talk about the marriage life. How is it? I think marriage is beautiful. I really do. When you're married to the right person and the two of you get each other, he gets you, you get her, y'all get each other. It's like, man, this is my person. This is my dude. This is my girl. This is my lady. I love her. I love him. That is beautiful. Now, marriage ain't all perfect. You're going to have some issues. You're going to argue sometimes. You're going to see some disappointment moments in each other. You're going to be disappointed in each other at some point. You're going to disagree at some point. It's okay. You actually are supposed to disagree at some point. You can't agree with everything. You're not supposed to. It's not natural. Something's wrong with that. It's not even real if you agree with everything, because then you're not being your true self. The most important thing about marriage is that you have to understand that if you're going to make it with each other, you have to like each other. Yes. So I heard some people say, sometimes I don't like him. Sometimes I don't like her. When you really don't like each other, you are mean to each other. So you must like each other to the point of respect. Even if the person get on your nerves, if you get on your last nerve, she get on your last nerves. It's just something about that person that you just like being around them, because you know what they're capable of. You know that if something go down, they got your back. You know they're going to be there for you. You know if you get sick, they're going to help get you back well. You know this. You already know that if you lose your job, they're not going to put you out the house and say, I don't want you no more. You got to go. You know they're going to be like, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. Eventually, you're going to get back on your feet and it's going to be okay. And then if I lose my job or I don't have something, I know you're going to do the same for me. We got each other. That's what we are. You're my backbone. You're the one that's helping me stand up straight, and I'm your backbone. I'm the one that's helping you stand up straight. Even though we don't see eye to eye all the time and we have our moments with each other, I still love you. I'm still there for you. We gonna be okay. Now, with that being said, when that person get on your last damn nerves, you need to find an outlet, a safe, respectable outlet, something that can help you be able to learn to get along and agree to disagree. You need an outlet. You never want to put yourself in a situation where you hold everything in and you don't talk and you don't express yourself in a respectable way to where the person can receive you, where your man or your wife, your husband can receive you. You want to be received, but you have to understand how to express yourself in a way to where they can receive it. If you know your partner, then you're going to know how to talk to them. So let's say, I'm going to give you an example. My husband, my now current husband. So he had a situation where his blood pressure went up. It was high all day long. And I hate hospitals. I don't want to go to no hospital. I'm going to tell you that right now. I just don't like going to no hospital. That's one reason why I make sure I go to my doctor's appointments, because I don't want to deal with the hospital. But I took myself out of it and I said, this is not about me. This is about my husband. I don't want to wake up in the morning and he doesn't wake up and we should have went to the hospital the night before. So I told him, we're going to go to the hospital. And he was like, I don't want to go to the hospital. Okay, you hate the hospital just as much as I do. Okay, we're on the same page with it. But guess what? I'm finna be on a different page right now because you ain't feeling well. And I'm kind of worried right now because your blood pressure won't go down. We checking his blood pressure. We got the blood pressure machine. We checking it. And it's just up there. When I say up there, I'm going to tell you something. That mug was like 162 over 115. I said, oh, shit, you about to stroke out on me. Hell no, we're going to the hospital. So he gets mad at me. I don't want to go to the hospital. So I say, oh, you going to the hospital. So I'm yelling at him. And he's like, my blood pressure up because you yelling at me. I'm like, nah, your blood pressure was up because your blood pressure up. Ain't got nothing to do with me yelling. I just started yelling at you. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get up out this bed because we were in the bed and we were watching movies, doing the things that we do. And finally, I said, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to play with this. So I said, I'm going to get up out this bed. I'm going to go use the restroom. I'm going to come out the restroom. I'm going to get dressed. You going to get dressed too. We going to go to the hospital. I don't care if we there all day long. I don't care if we there all night, all yesterday, tomorrow, whatever day. We going to be in that hospital until you get this blood pressure down. So he was like, see, you yelling at me. And I thought about it when I was in the restaurant. I said, wow, you know what? He's right. I don't need to be yelling at him because his blood pressure is already up. So if I start yelling at him, even though I'm yelling because I care and I want him to understand how serious I am about his life, that I don't want him to die on me. I need him around because I love him that much that I want more time on earth with him. So let me stop yelling. So I came out the restroom and I said, babe, in a toner, calmer voice, I said, babe, I really don't want you to fall asleep. And then the morning come, you don't wake up. And I'm like mad at myself because I should have done something and I don't do nothing. I get it. You don't want to go to the hospital, but do you want to be dead? Come on, man. I need you. I really do. So he was like, okay, I'm coming. Yeah, he took his little time putting on his clothes. Really took his time. So I started getting frustrated all over again. And I had to keep myself calm. And I said, I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to stay calm because I don't need him with his blood pressure shooting up even more. Because I remember when I had a moment when I was married to my second husband, when my blood pressure went up, all because I was upset. So I'm going to make sure that I don't do that to him. But he ended up with this lollygagging situation, looking for some particular shoes. Dude, you have like 1,300 pair of shoes. You better pick one. I want those other shoes, the flip flops or whatever. Go look in my truck and see if they're in there. Are you serious right now? Are you really serious right now? Okay, I go in the truck. I look. I don't ain't no flip flops in here, man. Just put on something. Let's go. And he's like, He's still walking around he looking in the other room downstairs. And I'm like, oh my God, if he don't put on some shoes, I'm about to go crazy. Oh, come on. So I said, okay, let me calm myself down. So really what I'm trying to say here is that I had to keep myself under control because I realized that my partner, my husband, my best friend, I love him. I don't want him to be sick, and I don't want to make him even sicker, you know? So with all that being said here, the marriage life has a lot going on. You're going to deal with some things. And if you're not mature enough to handle those things when they come, you don't know what's going to happen in your marriage. You just don't know. You don't know when you're going to be faced with a real situation, and you don't know when you're going to be faced with some silly situation. You just don't know. But you need to understand that this is what marriage is about. You are living your life with someone. And as you go through all these different phases in your life together, you have to learn to navigate together. Not separately, but together. So you have a mate. You're no longer you. You are us. What you do reflects the other person that you're with, and what your person do reflects you. So you have to keep in mind that everything you do, you're doing it as a unit. A us. Not a me, not a I, none of that. Not a myself. Okay? If you're not ready for that, if you're unsure about that, I would tell you don't get married. Wait until you are mature enough that you know that you're ready. You know, we do these vows, right? In the vows, if you really, really want to know the real vows, it does have forsaken all others in there. It also have to death do us part. It also have for sick and in good health, for richer and for poor. Problem is that no one really want that. Usually everyone want all the good part. They don't want the bad part. They want the bad part to go out the window and only deal with the good part. We have so many divorce going on because people are not taking their vows seriously. So I've been divorced twice. And you will say, who are you to say? Okay, I'm going to tell you. My first marriage, my husband committed adultery. He had a baby with another woman while we was married. That was ground for divorce. My second marriage, my husband committed adultery and he was an abuser. He abused me. And I'm not talking about just only with his words, but also with his hands. Also with finance. Now I want to take care of nothing. He want me to take care of everything. All those things. So that's ground for divorce. You ain't been a husband. You ain't doing what a husband's supposed to do. You are literally like a little boy that wants to be taken care of by his mama. And I'm not your mama. So that was the situation with the second husband. Now with my third husband, and it's totally different from the first and the second. This man that I'm married to right now is good to me. I mean, good to me. His whole way of how he handled me is so delicate and so pure that I'm like, wow, where you been all my life? Like, seriously, for real. I mean, I have my moments with him where I say how I say, oh, he get on my nerves. But he really don't get on my nerves. I be looking forward going home to him. I look forward to seeing his face. And you might say, oh, you're a newlywed. Enjoy being a newlywed. I was a newlywed 2 other times. And then, trust me, that wasn't pleasant the first time or the second time with those newlywed situations. Okay? All right. Please believe me. So with that being said, I can say when you find the right person for you, you will know. You will know. You don't have to force it. You don't have to make something happen. You don't have to change who you are. You don't. You will be ready. And that person will be ready to receive you. And you will be ready to receive them. There's no getting into a relationship with someone and say, I need you to change the way you do your hair. I need to change the way you dress. I need you to stop going out to the club. I need you to get a job. I need you to figure out what you're going to do with these kids because you got this baby daddy problem over here, this baby daddy problem over there. You got this baby mama problem over here. You got this baby mama problem over there. Oh, no. You don't have to do all that. Not at all. When you find the right person, you don't have those issues. It's going to fit, and it's going to fit well. It's going to be just like a hand in a glove. And you're going to say, this is it. This is it. I'm ready for marriage now. And they're going to say, this is it. I'm ready for marriage. This is the person. So for those of you who wants to get married, stop looking. I'm going to tell you right there. Women, stop looking for a husband. Don't do that no more. Leave it alone. You know, there's nothing pretty being desperate. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's nothing pretty about being desperate because it's almost like you put out some pheromones in the air, such as what a skunk would do when the skunk is trying to defend itself and use its odor to make you run away. That's exactly what desperate does. Being desperate puts out an odor to the person that you're talking to or that you're around, hoping that they will see that you're ready to get married so badly, or you're ready, on the other hand, have kids so badly. It puts out an odor and it makes them want to run away. So to my ladies, stop being desperate. If you really want to get married, enjoy your life the way it is right now. Seriously. Just enjoy being you. Enjoy being with yourself and enjoy being with your friends. Live your best life. Travel. Get out and see the world. Yes, it's so much out there. Oh my God. It is so much out there. I travel every week. Yes, I'm married and I travel because that's what I do for a living. So when I can say that, because this is what I do for a living, imagine you going traveling just to go enjoy everything that you go, every place you go to, all the good food, meeting different culture, learning history. If you like history, and trust me, history is very interesting. And just being in an environment, travel. Just live your best life. Stop looking for a husband. He's going to come. And you know what's going to really happen to you when you stop looking for a husband and you're so desperate, when you stop being so desperate to find a husband, he's going to show up and he's going to be ready for marriage. Then you're going to question this. Am I ready for marriage right now? Because I've been having so much fun. I don't know if I want to let that go. It's funny, but it's the truth. You're going to start thinking the opposite way. Wow, should I get married right now? Let's see if he's willing to let me still be me. Because I enjoy what I'm doing right now. Don't be no hoe. I'm going to tell you that now. If you're out there doing all that, sleeping around with this guy, that guy, you're going to tarnish yourself before you actually get married, because there's nothing fun in giving yourself up to too many guys that by the time you meet your husband, you don't have the energy to give to him. You don't have the freakiness to give to him. because you all worn out from all the activities that you done while you were single. I'm not saying don't have a good time, but I'm saying don't be out there spreading yourself thin, all wild and loose, to a point that now you're married and you're like, I don't want to, I don't feel like it, leave me alone, I'm tired. And he's like, dang, really? It's like that? You don't want to be like that. You want to save the best part of you for your husband. Definitely save the best part of yourself for him. Know who you want to marry as far as the things that you enjoy doing, that you want to continue to do. Know that that's something that he's into as well. Because it's nothing like getting with somebody that ain't into the same thing that you're into. And then you're like, dang, I like him, I love him, but he's boring. There's nothing fun about that. It just isn't. So be real cautious about who you actually put yourself into. Stop looking for the ring. Stop looking for the fancy wedding. That is a given. When you are ready for marriage and he's going to propose, you can get the fancy wedding. You can have the ring. Because once you have that ring on your finger, it just become another piece of jewelry after a while. I can vouch for that. You start looking at it and you're like, oh, I like it. Then you kind of forget that it's there until someone pointed out and they're like, oh, that's a beautiful ring. You're like, oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And you realize, oh, that's right, I am married. I do got a ring on my finger. That lets them know that I'm taken, that lets that person know, yeah, I got somebody. But at the same time, it's just a ring. It's symbolized in a union, but it's almost like having a camera follow you around everywhere you go, filming your entire life. Over time, you forget that camera's there. It's just like that. Not that the camera is not there. Everybody else who don't walk in your shoes, they recognize that camera immediately. But you yourself forgot that it's there. That's pretty much what that ring is like. So if you're so desperate to get this big rock, this big ring that you want to show off to your friends and say, hey, I'll get it married. Look at my hand. Look at me. No. Yeah, that's a short moment. It doesn't last long. And even over time, they'll forget that ring is on your finger and don't even pay attention to it anymore. Not saying that it's disrespectful or anything. What I'm saying is that the hype goes away. All that which you couldn't wait to get, that hype, that feeling, it dies after you say, I do. It does. Now, the wedding's over, the proposal's over, and now it's time to get on with the marriage. That is the most important part. And actually, it's the only part that you really should put emphasis on. That's why I say, don't be desperate to get married. Make sure that you are with someone that gets you. They're not trying to change you. They accept you for the way you are. And as you continue to live with them, you're going to be changing. Both of you. You're going to change. Every 7 years, the human go through a growth, a change in their growth. Whether it's their body changing or their mentality changing or their living situation changes. Every 7 years, the human go through some type of transformation. When you are married and you go through these transformation, you're no longer the person you was 7 years ago. And if you are still the same person 7 years ago, something's wrong with you. Because you should be changing. You should. You should be growing in some area of your life. You should not still be the same. It just shouldn't happen. It's not natural. Because one thing in life that is destined is change. It's inevitable. It is. It's inevitable. You're going to change. Life is going to cause about and bring about a change. So if you are still in the same mindset 7 years ago, then you're not taking the time to self-develop yourself in some kind of way. And that's a problem. So if your spouse is self-developing, such as maybe going to school or reading lots of books or starting something new, stepping out on faith on something, and you ain't done nothing, now you're going to have some type of conflict with each other. I'm not telling you to level up, but I'm telling you to level up. Do something too. Find something that can challenge you and grow you and strengthen you. Grow together is what I'm saying. Grow together. Find a reason to support your husband. Find a reason to support your wife as they grow and as they change. Because when you're changing, especially us women, our bodies, when we change, when our bodies start spreading out, we getting cellulite in places we never had before, our faces filling out more, we can't fit the clothes that we used to fit. We look at ourselves differently and we start feeling unsexy. And we like, dang, I don't really feel like I used to feel. I wonder if he thinking the same thing. So with that being said, if that is happening with you right now, find something that you like, that you feel that will help put you on track of feeling sexy again. Now, for me, I know I have my moments, and I feel like when I look at myself in the mirror sometimes and I'm like, dang, I have a certain hairstyle and I like that hairstyle is not flattering on me. I'm going to change it. And then my husband might say, no, don't change it. I like that hairstyle on you. Why are you changing your hair? Because I do. I change my hair a lot. I would change my hairstyle every week if I need to. But I will wear a hairstyle longer because I know he happened to like it. Like, for instance, the hairstyle I got right now, I got this white hair, whatever going on, looking like Storm from X-Men. I thought that was going to be something that I really wanted because I was like, I think I can rock that style. Although I really feel like I can rock that style, when I wear it, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, my face looks fatter, and I'm not happy with that. I'm not really happy with the chubby cheeks, but I've been having chubby cheeks my whole life. That's why people always say I got a baby face. When I was younger, I used to get my cheek pinched, and I didn't like that. So when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh my goodness, I got these chubby cheeks. They're just like out there. And people, when I was younger, especially in middle school and high school, they used to say, oh, she looked like Penny from Good Time, Janet Jackson, when she was little. And I got that so much. And I'm like, even she had chubby cheeks, So I'm like, okay, whatever. But now I'm grown. I'm a grown woman. And I still got these fat chubby cheeks. So when I started seeing myself gaining weight, I noticed that my face get plumper. And what helps me to start feeling better about myself, I put myself on some type of, not diet, because I don't like diets. I think that they don't work. But I put myself on a regimen plan where I can lose the weight, get control of my weight so it don't get out of control. I work out and I start feeling good about myself. I start feeling sexy again, because that's what I do for myself, because that makes me feel that I have control over my body to keep it from getting out of control. Even though I know my husband likes the extra weight, but I don't like the extra weight. I don't like the extra weight. I feel like that's just too much for me, because when you climbing up a flight of stairs, and you huffing and puffing, that doesn't feel good. Not at all, especially when I'm not used to it. So I had to tell him, I said, honey, I know you like all this thickness and everything, but when I'm exhausted from walking in the airport, trying to get from one gate to the next, I know I need to lose weight. So I'm going to take this time and I'm going to tone up. I'm going to lose this belly fat. I'm going to lose this chubby face. And I'm going to do all that. And he said, okay, I get it. You're right. Do what you got to do, honey. Just don't take your teeth out your mouth and put in the glass. I started laughing. I say, stop that. Because some people do take their teeth out their mouth and put in glass. He said, I know, but I was just joking. So that means that do whatever you going to do to make yourself feel better, okay? That's the kind of level you want. You want somebody to be on that same level with you. Find that person, okay? Okay, I'm signing out. I'm a Layla. Are you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by stress? Introducing Stress Management with Imaging Coaching, your ticket to a calmer, more balanced life. In this journey you will be taking with us here at Imaging Coaching, we'll equip you with powerful techniques and tools you can use to conquer stress, regain control, and transform your life. From deep breathing exercises to mindfulness practices, you'll discover the tools to relax your mind and body. Come join us on this transformative path and unlock a world of inner peace and resilience. Don't let stress hold you back any longer. Take charge of your well-being today with Imaging Coaching, your stress management team. Discover clarity. Defeat stress through Imaging Coaching at imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com.